In this video, I want to talk to you about what it takes to find a life partner. And finding a partner that you're compatible with starts by first understanding yourself. Once you understand yourself and your values and your needs, it's much easier to then devise a profile of the type of man or woman you're looking to start a relationship with. In finding your life partner, it's super important to understand what good looks like for you. What does that ideal partner look like that you're compatible with? And when I say, what does that person look like? I don't mean what's their physical appearance or what kind of job do they have. I'm talking about the real aspects of compatibility that predict whether or not you will stay together long term. When we look at the research, it comes down to a couple of key factors that form compatibility. One of those aspects is having a shared life vision. Do you both want the same things in the future? Whether that's starting a family or building a patchwork family, or maybe traveling the world or working for a charity, you need to have an alignment on your life visions so that you can work together as a partnership to achieve those goals. The second aspect of compatibility comes down to an ability and a willingness to meet each other's needs. This means, that you're able to give and receive love in your relationship. And the third key aspect, and what I want to really dig into on this video, is the idea of key life values. According to the work of my coach and mentor, and a researcher in the area of relationships for over 35 years, Dr. Terry Orbuck says that our key life values are the parts of our life that are most important to us. And this takes some time to actually get clear on what those things are. Because what often happens in relationships is we go into a relationship and we try to fit ourselves to the person we found. We adopt their values, their views of the world, and we lose ourselves in a relationship where we feel something's missing. And so if you want to avoid that feeling, the first place to start is getting super clear on what your key life values are. So what are some key life values? Well, if we look at the work of John Gottman, he has a fantastic book that I highly recommend reading. It's 8 Dates, which looks at some of these key life value areas. And so some of these are, how do I feel about trust and commitment? Do I believe in marriage? Do I believe in another form of partnership? What do I feel about family, and children and extended families? How do I feel about fun and adventure? What things are really important to me? What do I really value when it comes to learning about new cultures or trying new foods? What do I think about sex and intimacy? Do I have certain values about what's a go and what's a no-go for me? Are there things I'm willing to do and other areas where I'm not willing to go there? What about growth and spirituality? Are you somebody who believes in a growth mindset and you work on your personal development versus somebody who believes in a fixed mindset that we are the way we are coming out of childhood and we can't change that, so we need to learn to adapt to who we are today? Those two mindsets can be incompatible in a relationship when one person wants to grow and develop and change things and the other person is fighting very hard to keep the status quo. Understanding your key life values are key to a healthy long-term relationship because the research shows that similar key life values actually predicts whether or not a couple will stay together. And in the work that I've been presenting recently, I've been talking about a model that I've developed called the 5+2 dating blueprint. And this 5+2 dating blueprint basically helps you determine what are your 5 key life values, those beliefs about the world and yourself and life that you absolutely need to live to be happy in a relationship. And what are your 2 deal breakers? What are things that are absolute no-goes to you because they compromise your value system? And when you come up with your 5+2, you've got a blueprint for your dating. So the questions you need to be asking the person you're dating to find out, do we have similar life values or do we have conflictual values, which means that we're not compatible? And of course, you're never going to be 100% with somebody. There's always going to be some differences. But by opening up the discussion early on in the dating process, you're not going to become surprised later in the relationship when you find out the person you've been dating for the last year really doesn't want to ever get married, or doesn't want to have more children, or really wants to live close to their parents because they love the extended family, and you're very much about just staying with your nuclear family. And at the end of the day, there is no right or wrong when it comes to values. Your values are yours, and they're always correct. But what you want to do is find somebody who shares those. Otherwise, in relationships, you're trying to convince the other person that your values are right and their values are wrong. And that kind of an argument can never be solved because there is no right and wrong. It's simply we each have different views of the world. So in improving your dating success, I strongly encourage you to read the 8 Dates book. I'll put a link to the book below this video, and I recommend getting a hard copy because there's exercises and checklists in that book that are really, really helpful, but you need to have them in paper in order to be able to use them effectively. And if I can help you in clarifying your own 5+2, in going deeper into what compatibility looks like for you so you can build that long-term relationship that you desire, please reach out to me, connect with me, and I would love to talk to you more.